All right, y'all. We back. We back. I had a technical difficulty. We back live, man. We back live. We gonna pick right back up. We just gonna call this part two. We gonna pick right back up on the reaction video. Let's roll.
What do you think?
Women are women. I don't give a fuck what color they are. Women are women. They don't want to be held accountable. They're gonna tell you the truth if they want to or not. It doesn't depend on what color their skin is. Like, if they want to be around you, they're gonna act a certain way. They're gonna act cool. They're gonna put on a show. But mostly women are women, and I've dealt with women of all kind. And women are women. There ain't no differences. None. Now, there might be some cultural differences where I'm not gonna get into the cleanliness and all that shit, but because there's some cultural differences, it's just like, I don't know about that. But women are women. I don't give a fuck about what the color of their skin is. Man, they're gonna be emotional. You know what I'm saying? And they're not gonna apologize until it's too late. They're not gonna realize what's going on until it's too late. And it does not matter what color or creed they are. I'm sorry. I don't buy that shit. I think that's people trying to fill the narrative so they can go out and date a certain type of woman. That's just me personally.
Can I ask you a question? Like, real, have you ever dated a white woman?
I've dated women of every kind, bro. Like, I'm dead ass. Asian.
No question.
Yes. I've dated white women. I've dated them. It ain't. I don't see a difference.
They're understood.
All right, let me jump in right here. So I have to disagree. With Slimmy. There's a difference culturally, by and large. So it doesn't mean that you can't find a certain caliber of woman under every ethnic. It doesn't mean that you can't find a certain caliber of woman or a type of woman under every ethnical umbrella. It doesn't mean that. So you can find, what I'm saying is you can find ain't shit in every color. You can. That I agree with them on. You can find ain't shit in every color. But by and large, meaning the percentage of women that are raised a certain way culturally for this ethnicity in particular, whichever one we're talking about, by and large, you're going to get more of this. You're going to bump into more of this behavior, more of this customary teaching, more of this set of morals and principles and belief systems. You're going to get more of this depending on what culture or ethnicity that you're talking about dealing with instead of a black woman. The black American woman and what comes with that, by and large, I'd hate to say, but many of the stereotypes would be fitting. And so the men who are locking in with black women, which is 85% of married black men are married to a black wife. With that being the case, men are just finding men who want to be intentional and want to find a wife. They're finding their one nugget, their one diamond in the rough that they feel like is a little bit set apart and uniquely, aligned with them. And they getting out the game. The men who are intentional and that want to move like that, they getting out the game. But they just going through and finding their personal needle in the haystack. But we not gonna sit here and pretend like all sisters is made to be wives. I'm not gonna be lying to the public. That's not currently the case. Meg Thee Stallion go on tour. The stadiums are full, and it's hella black women up in there. Black women and gay men. So don't tell me that we haven't lost our way.
I think the problem is the type of men that are approached. I think it's on the man. I don't think it's on the color or the creed of a woman. If you approach, it depends on how you approaching every woman. If you approaching every woman like you just want to fuck them out the gate, you're going to get certain results.
I think
you're going to get certain results. It don't matter on the creed or the race.
Don't take this personal, but I think it's ignorant to say that women from different cultures are all the same.
Huh? I didn't say that.
Well, you said all women are the same, and all these women are from different cultures, but you said they're all the same. Like life
No, I'm talking about the
experiences.
functionality. I'm speaking to the functionality of women. The functionality of women overall is the same. Now, when you get into the cultural differences, that's where you get different things. But ultimately, women are going to be emotional. That's not going to change. A lot of women, they're just not accountable. I think
that's
you
for
come.
sure.
So his take is that there's really no difference. Women are just women. I think that Slimmy he needs a in this regard, it would be beneficial to him to have had a different set of experiences or testimonies, because he's admittedly never really been real serious with anybody. So yes, you've dated, as in what? Went out a couple times and made an attempt at smashing. You've dated all types of women, but who was you in a 2-3 year relationship with? What woman did you live with and share space with? Like, these are things that would add to his argument in saying that all women are the same in regards to the experience that you get. Because I can tell you, I've been in a serious relationship with a non-black woman, and when it comes to agreeability, when it comes to being argumentative, that was probably the most peaceful relationship I ever had. No disrespect to any woman, but that's real. Like, we didn't argue for real. We would have conversations, we would have disagreements, but all that hollering and that rah-rah shit, that shit wasn't going on. She was just soft. She was just soft. She would say what she needed to say very gently and very, like, just feminine. And as far as like serving you and all that shit, she would do it proudly, wanting to do it. I want to get up, tired or not, make you this meal and make sure you eat. That make me feel good. So I can agree that or I can empathize with the men who say they've had better experiences as far as their treatment is concerned, like how they get treated from the woman and by the woman and how they get looked at. I can empathize with men who say that that's a part of their experience, that they've had more ideal experiences with non-black women. And it's largely because a lot of sisters in America are raised to be difficult to a man. It's cultural. So it's a cultural thing. I just have to disagree with Slimmy. Let's let them continue.
I think women are the same, but people want to create narratives. So they try to say this type of woman is better than this type of woman. Women are women, men are men.
I think
it depends on how you raised on, basically, for real. If you raised to be a piece of shit, you're going to be a piece of shit. I don't think that's based on color or creed or none of that shit.
Well, you said it's based on how they raise, and white people raise their women different than black people raise their women. So
you sure?
With that alone.
You sure? Well, you 1,000% sure of that?
Well, you just said it. You just said it was. I was using your words. I didn't make that up.
No, I'm saying,
don't get mad, bro. I'm not trying to argue with you right now. I'm just trying to. It's just too simple to say all women are the same, because it's not true.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you feel is the difference?
Their experiences molds them, and it makes them different in how they act and how they engage with men. Their experiences, it makes them different.
Okay, I mean, I need you to elaborate on why women of different races are different. Like, I'm saying, like, what's the differences? What have you experienced that are the differences?
Do white people in large, are they just having families with no fathers in the home, or is that a black people thing?
What do you mean? That don't matter about.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Podcast in the building. What up, 333, brother? What's going on, man? You at the gig? You at the gig? You know I'm finna send you that link if you ain't at the gig, man. What's going on with you, man? Right now, we on the reaction video talking about black men going to outside of other races. We got Slimmy giving his take. He's saying he feel like women are women and the experience is the same regardless of the ethnicity. I already disagree with him. Quentin disagreeing with him, but we just moving through the reaction video. What's happening, brother?
Fucking race?
I think that
There ain't no race thing. It's white people that don't have that got single parent homes. What are you talking about, Quentin?
But it's mostly black people. And when the father's not in the home, these women looks different.
I think the thing is that in the black community, we embrace it more. And we pedestalize it more.
Which is
he's talking about on a macro level, Slimmy.
Which is why our women are different. Like all this, like molds women and what it looks like when they go out into the world. And no,
say that again.
It molds the women, how they're raised, what their experiences.
Listen, I don't know why he's trying to explain this to Slimmy. Slimmy is the most befuddled man on YouTube. Slimmy don't be knowing what niggas is talking about. Every show he sit up and say, "Wait, what?" Slimmy don't be knowing what's going on, but it's true though. I think it's a cultural thing. When men, I can truly say that I empathize when men say, he said, "Yeah, I'm on the plantation." Oh, don't trip, brother, don't trip. But I can empathize when dudes say they've had experiences with, you know, multiple different American black women, and then they've had a couple of experiences with non-black women, and when they express the difference in the way they're treated, in the way they're looked at, in the way they're revered by the women, there is a difference. You know, like I said, you could find ain't shit in every color, but if we talking about the majority versus the majority, you're gonna get a different experience. And that's unfortunately true. That's not something that I say to bash sisters. I think that's unfortunately true, because I come from a household with a super cooperative woman. Like my mother was a complainer, but she also was cooperative. Like she would complain while she getting shit done, and then she would be like super like calm and like at ease once she got everything done, because she used to just like, she'd smile and be like, it was almost like, yeah, I'll be tired sometimes and I don't be feeling like doing this stuff, but at the same time, I'm fulfilled by doing it. It's like purpose. It's just like how men be tired and we work super hard and we'll work however many hours and we'll work however many jobs and we'll start up whatever businesses and we'll do whatever we got to do for our family. And yeah, we be tired. We be exhausted, actually. We do. But we also, at the same time, two things could be true at once. We also get fulfillment from doing our duties as a man and doing what needs to be done to provide. So, you know, I don't, maybe I'm spoiled by seeing the example of the woman who still like the duty and the role of like being a woman, found it to be purposeful. You know, maybe that's going out of style and shit.
It looks different.
In what way?
If I get a
but I said all that to say, like, culturally, that's not the case for women of all ethnicities. Like when I was dating a woman who was Hispanic and Lebanese, she literally was raised to serve a man, to cook for him, to get his plate, to give it to him, to take it from him, you know, put his feet up, to rub his shoulders. Like she was raised on what that looked like, how that looked, how to secure and lock in a husband. Like I saw it with my own eyes in front of me. Her mother showing her like I'm a damn mannequin. You know what I'm saying? Showing her this what you do. This what you do for him. This what you do. This how you treat him. You know, so it's literally taught intentionally versus where like in your average black home right now, unfortunately, I don't believe that's the teaching. The results don't show that that's the teaching. Again, unfortunately.
White girl from the suburbs and I date her and I get a black chick from the ghetto, it looks different because where they came from.
That's cultural. Okay, so you get a white woman from the suburbs and a black girl from the suburbs. What's the difference? 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 I'm asking you.
I hate arguing with you, bro.
Because you can't, you don't like this because you don't want anyone to make you substantiate your arguments. You can't just say blanket statements.
You're the king of not substantiating your argument.
Bro, I just clearly broke down everything, my dude. What are you talking about? I'm asking you what are the differences? You just said a black woman, a white woman in the suburbs and a black woman in the ghetto. We know there's gonna be differences. So a woman in a trailer park is gonna look the same as a white woman in a trailer park is gonna look the same as a white woman in the suburbs.
Can I comment on this?
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
What's up, Anton?
Myron just entered the building from Fresh and Fit. It's up there now. Let's roll.
Thanks for having me on, bro. I had to come in and show love because you showed me love, and I don't forget those that show support, man. So I figured I'd come in here real quick. So what I'm about to say does not represent any of the members of the panel, so I'm just going to be very honest and blunt about what I'm about to say because it might be offensive. The reality is most women are retarded, okay? And the reality about this that guys need to understand when I say that most women are retarded is that the software is always the same. The hardware is what's different, whether the skin color, the cultural background, whatever, the hardware is always the same. The software is always the same. The hardware might be different. So the only real difference, right, sometimes is cultural situations, background, the way they grew up, etc., will maybe dictate their mannerisms, the way they behave, and what they're trying to do. But at the end of the day, all women are trying to do the same thing, which is do what? Get the best man that they can get based on their education level, socioeconomic level, where they stand socioeconomically. And that's just kind of how it goes. Now, different races and different cultures obviously go about it in different ways, right? We can look at a lot of black women. They're attracted to the thug type. They're attracted to men that exude masculine characteristics, though they might be more, reminiscent of like being a criminal because these are traits that women look for in a lot of situations. Or it could be, the white girl who's looking for a guy who has some money and some status and has some bad boy tendencies, but
all right, y'all. So this is the part of the situation where you're gonna see a lot of shit being said that's factual and unfortunately true. So this isn't here to bash, people, but it's to have an honest conversation about what it is and what it's become. And once we get past that rough, honest conversation about what it is and what it's become, then we had that discussion about what we gonna do to fix it. Let's roll.
Has some status alongside it. So every race goes about it in different ways, but the reality is women are all looking for the same type of guy. The way they go about it might be differently because hypergamy, extends regardless of, what a woman's race is. Just so happens that they go about it in different ways, but the reality is that women are always going to fall to hypergamy.
Do you think that it changes based off of culture or race? So, like, for example,
sure,
what Paul Pierce saying that a lot of NBA players, because see, my opinion of it, when Paul Pierce said that a lot of NBA players or athletes go for white women, I think that a lot of NBA players that I've met has just been goofy. Like, a lot of them are young, a lot of them haven't necessarily lived long enough. A lot of them get resources, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they understand the dynamics of women. A lot of times they just get with women based off of what's available, and a lot of them are at their hotel rooms or a lot of them at the hotel before they even show up. Do you think that the cultural differences also yield different results when it comes to women? And I'm not even just talking about athletes. I'm talking about great men in general. Do you think that the cultural differences or the race plays a role in whether or not men are attracted to them, or do you just think that it's culture by itself and the type of men that women go after?
I mean, it's such a multitude of different things. Like, if we're going to talk about NBA players, right, for example, just as the first one. So a lot of these guys play college first. When you're in college, a lot of the time you're in a white dominant, situation where you're an athlete, you're Division I athlete. I could say this from experience from being Division I athlete myself. Like, the women are going to just gravitate towards the D1 athletes. And then when you're a basketball player or a football player at a Division I school, you're kind of at the top of the pecking order from a social status perspective. So what ends up happening is, let's say you did come from inner city, you were the top guy, then you go to a big Division I school, you're not seeing Shaniqua and LaQuisha anymore. You're seeing, Becky and a bunch of other from Midwest. So like your thing switches, and men, we like variety. So since men like variety, this is something different that I'm not used to. Oh, I'm going to go with this. And what ends up happening a lot of times is these guys will get a girl in college, and that girl will kind of follow them along. And then, you know, they might have that chick as a woman that was with them when they were playing sports, or they might find a girl once they get into league or whatever. But what I realized is, like, with men, it just comes down to variety. I don't think men care so much about, you know, everyone has their preferences, of course, but I think what men care about the most is, like, is this girl going to be submissive, not be a pain in the ass? Because a lot of times when men make money and they acquire status, they acquire that money and status, and the first thing they do is get rid of problematic women a lot of the times, right? Because you don't make that kind of money and you don't get that level of status and want to come back and deal with a woman that's going to sit there and argue with you. Like
Yeah, you see, harsh truths. For a long time, and when I say about a long time, I want to say maybe 15 years ago, I had people on Facebook jumping on me because the phrase of, like, a lot of men these days can't handle a strong woman was going around back then. It was heavy. You know how these trendy little phrases, you can't handle a strong woman, was going around like crazy. And I was one of the ones that jumped out the window and said, I don't want a woman that I need to handle. And then they went to bashing the sisterhood. Like, you know, women, the one type of woman you talking about, she weak, she this, she that. The type of woman you talking about, she this, she that, she this. And it's like, damn. So a woman that's going to cooperate with her man and, like, not intentionally get on his nerves or choose not to argue and come back when she calm and have a conversation, that woman is viewed as less than by y'all. I was baffled. And this was like 15 years ago. So all of this shit coming to the forefront now, you know, this shit ain't nothing new to me. Ain't nothing new to me. Niggas been stopped looking for difficult shit. We don't want no difficult ass woman. If for some reason women think that being difficult is like a quality that should be tolerable, or like it shouldn't be a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. Motherfuckers is not signing up for life with somebody who's difficult.
The dumbest thing that women say is like, oh, yeah, you don't want a woman that challenges you? No, you dumb whore. Like, no, thank you. We got to go out and fight the world. Last thing I want to do is come back and argue with a woman. And this is one of the biggest misconceptions that women actually push out there, saying, don't you want a woman to challenge you? And this is like propaganda from like the 2000s of Neo saying, I want a woman who wants her own, independent woman, whatever, blah, 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 which we've been indoctrinated to believe these lies. We've been pushing this like whole independent woman thing and a woman that can earn on her own for literally the better part of a couple of decades. And guess what happens? Neo lied to everybody. What is he doing now? He has like 2 or 3 girlfriends that he supports. This whole independent woman thing is a lie. Beyonce, oh yeah, I could find another you in a minute. What's she doing? Jay-Z cheats on her? She's still there. So it's all cap. It's all a lie. So I think it's really important for people to kind of like deprogram from like what's been pushed, especially in the Black community, when it comes to like, I want a strong independent woman and any of this stuff. That's not what men are looking for. Like, and rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, because he brought this to light more, especially in the Black community, kind of like indoctrinating women, like trying to deprogram women with the indoctrination of like, you know, your career, your status, your title. Men really don't care about these things. And the more money and resources they acquire, the less they care about it. So
this goes back to what I always say. If you're single and you do not desire to be single, but you're relatively attractive in some way, shape, or form, you're getting in your own way. It's on you. If you're relatively attractive, you single, and you do not desire to be single, in some way, shape, or form, you are getting in your own way. Now, if you are relatively attractive, you have people, you know, suitors, and you just deciding to chill for whatever reasons, you on a different type of part of your journey, and you just not on that right now, that's different. But if you desire to be in a relationship and you attract suitors and you can't lock nothing in, sustain anything, you don't run into anything that you see as worthy or qualified, some way, somehow, you are in your own way. And it's mostly goes for women, because most men know what they have to do to be attractive. And most men, if they don't follow the steps to be attractive, they will settle. They know how to settle. So a lot of men who want to lock in with somebody, eventually they run into somebody to spend the rest of their life with and get old with and shit. Because one thing about us is the ones of us that are not like the blessed of the Mohicans, the 6 foot tall, the handsome, the charming, the chocolate, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers who ain't cut like this here, this texture here, you know, they didn't get blessed with all that. They're a little bit shorter, their hair a little bit nappier, they, you know, whatever, they got a little bit of acne going on, they're a little chubby, like people who got all that shit going on. You know what I mean? And they struggle a bit with the women. Trust me, they know how to like who like them. When they run into that one that actually see them fit for some conversation, she look good enough in everything. They gonna love her dirty draws because she the first thing gave them some attention. So men know how to settle. Women do not. Your average sister do not even know how to rate herself properly on a 1 to 10. And so you got a lot of unrealistic expectations out here. So most single people get in their own way. The single people that want relationships, but they can't seem to get in them, find them, sustain them, some way, somehow they're in their own way. And until they realize that, you're going to keep hearing people blame the market. They're going to say the pool got pee in it. The pool don't, listen, it's a needle in a haystack situation out here. Because the whole culture that went crazy, the overall view and perspective of the value of your average single woman is diminished in the eyes of your average single man. You got most of your average single men these days. Let me lock in real quick. You've got most of your average single men these days that view the average single woman as a woman with a past. They assuming that. That's why the rule of thumb with us, if she tell you her body count, multiply by 3, which I don't believe in asking the body count question. I believe you can tell when somebody didn't had more experiences than you would like. But yet and still, if you were to have that conversation, whatever she tell you, rule of thumb amongst men is multiply by 3. That rule is not there to be funny. It's because we have a certain level of understanding of how females operate and shit. So it's one of these situations, man, where, you know, in regards to men dating outside of we on the reaction video talking about why black men date white women or, you know, anything other than black. But a lot of times when men find themselves in relationships that are serious and committed with women that are not black or women that look like them, it's because she was cooperating, she was submissive, or she was nurturing, she was doing something at a high level that man feel like he really need, and he hadn't been able to find it or get it from a sister. You know what I mean? And it's not just, and I'm saying this to be educational, not to tear anyone down or bring down sisters or lift up, none of that. No agenda. The agenda is to get sisters and brothers back together and stand together. That's the agenda. But it's not just enough to be like, yeah, I'll do your laundry, or yeah, I'll cook or make you a sandwich at 2 a.m. It's to do it and be happy doing it. I think it's become too common across TikTok, across Instagram, across YouTube, on these podcasts, on these panels, where you have women wanting a pat on the back or a cookie for doing everyday life shit. What you mean what I bring to the table? I cook, I clean, I do laundry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I you know, I'm good with my hygiene. Oh, so you mean to tell me you're an adult? Like that shit you ain't said shit yet. You ain't said shit yet. Like you should cook, you should clean, you should cook because you want to eat, you should clean because you want a clean space to live in and think in and breathe in and sleep in. You should have good hygiene. Why wouldn't you want to have that? You see what I'm saying? Like people be wanting a cookie for everyday life. Or people complain about regular responsibilities. Like why would I be submissive to a man if I gotta work a job? So if you don't have no man, what you gotta do? Work a job. So your submission is predicated upon something you doing anyway. We lost. We confused. And that's why I always say women who gonna be single speak different language from wives. Wives do not speak the same language as women who are chronically single and chronically dating. They just don't. And they never will. You know, you got somebody who rather be proud than be correct. You have somebody who rather be proud than to improve. Same thing with the brothers. You got some dudes out here getting looked over, because a lot of women do want you to pass the aesthetics test before you get the conversation that you're looking for from her. But dude won't go to the gym. He just will not lock in and go to the gym. You blocking yourself, bro. Your pool of options opens up a bit wider when you just get yourself in good shape. You don't got to be a bodybuilder, swolled up, ripped up, cut up with veins coming all through your shit, bro. You don't even got to do all that. Just be a person who look fit in clothes. When you got on an outfit, you look like a fit person. That's all. Don't be out here looking like you in the second trimester. It's gonna, trust me, I've been there. I had a second trimester belly, and it was a lot of joints that look at me now that wasn't looking at me then. And that's just a fact. It is what it is. So, like, control the controllables. You know what I'm saying? Stop blaming the world. A lot of people that's single and desire a relationship, that are, you know, people that are single and reasonably attractive, that desire a relationship, it's on them. And the sooner they realize that, the better off they'll be. Let's continue.
That's kind of what it comes down to. I think a lot of it comes down to the women are available because of their proximity to, you know, access to women, being a college athlete. They acquire more money and resource, which, you know, is obviously going to put them in position with these women. And then just really what it comes down to is who's available, who's hot, and who's not going to be a pain in the ass. If these things line up, a lot of the times they're going to go with the chick, is what I've realized.
Yeah, I agree with that. What do you think about a lot of the women that are being or getting upset at the fact that he is stating this, that it is true, and that a lot of guys are divesting themselves from the type of women that they originally had available to them once they start to get resources and they become more successful?
Yeah, no, I agree with that, man. You know, I can't tell you how many times, because here's the thing, right? Like, you don't know what you don't know, right? So, like, let's say you're growing up in the hood, right? And all you've dealt with is, like, you know, ratchet women that are kind of rough around the edges. And, like, you know, you've been indoctrinated to think, like, you should be accepting this. Like, this is great. Cool. You'll deal with it for a bit, but then you get some money and status, and then you date an Asian girl. She ain't talking back to you. She rubs your feet without you asking. She's making you food. You know what I mean? She's bringing you around her Chinese friends and stuff like that. You're walking into the, you know, to the grocery store. Niggas aren't telling you hurry up and buy no more. You're like, damn, this feels kind of nice. So what ends up happening, we're like, okay, this is nice. Like, I've never experienced this before. And when you get this different treatment, you're like, damn, I can't go back to LaQuisha now. I'm not trying to argue with her. I like Ling Ling. Ling Ling loves me a long time and she don't argue with me. And this is what ends up happening.
Yeah. At the end of the day, when you see men that stepped outside their race, unfortunately, they ran into a cooperative and agreeable and submissive Asian, or a cooperative and agreeable and submissive Hispanic, or a cooperative and agreeable submissive snow bunny, before they ran into a cooperative and agreeable and submissive black woman. Most men I see that marry non-black, they will tell you they tried black so many times first. Most of them, not all. We're going to discuss the majority of the anomaly. Most black men who end up married to a non-black woman will tell you that they tried black so many times first. But ultimately, when you got to make a decision that is supposed to be for the rest of your life, you got to go where you celebrated and not tolerated. You got to go where you celebrated and not tolerated. At the end of the day, I will tell you, G, the average sister will make you feel like you got to prove some shit to her. Whereas your average, you know, wholesome, modest, middle America, Hispanic sister, or Asian or Filipino, whatever the case may be, they gonna look up to you. You handsome, big, strong man that's supposed to take care of me. I believe in you. Here goes some food. Here, let me rub your shoulders. I know you work hard for us. The energy different, yo. And the sooner we stop fighting back against the reality of it, the sooner we could change and turn the tide of what that look like. Because guess what? If black women, by and large, start acting different, we gonna see it. We got the World Wide Web. We gonna see it. You gonna start seeing dudes disagree on these podcasts. I don't know, bro, because my woman don't act like that. I don't know, bro, because mine don't act like that, bro. She treat me just like how you described the Filipino chick. I got a sister at the house. She treat me just like that, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna start seeing that pop up. You're gonna start seeing clips like that go viral. All they gotta do is clean it up. We'll find out. It'll go public. Do it. It's not you don't see men are from all over the fucking place podcasting in their own wherever, they own studios, they own bedrooms, they own fucking living rooms, they own hotel rooms, they own cars. You don't see all these men podcasting off from all over the place saying the same shit because ain't nothing about it true. They tried to jump on dude that played Biggie Smalls. I don't know his real name. I forget. But the dude that played Biggie Smalls, they tried to jump on him for saying better. He had to double back. Not better, not better, not better, not better. Boy, you know what you meant. Better, folk. Better. I'm preferential to a sister, me personally. And I don't date white women at all. You feel me? I can't trust the family. Your uncle might be one of them people. And I'm with all the bullshit. I'll fuck your Thanksgiving up. So I don't even dabble in that. But, you know, I could tell you I have dated non-black women that wasn't white. And there's a difference. Don't shoot the messenger. Fix the problem. Let us continue.
Happening a lot of the times with guys is like, you don't know what you don't know until you experience it. So when they get this money, they get the status, they get access to it, you can't go backwards. So that's what's happening a lot of the times with these guys that get some status. Like you just put around women that kind of know their place just off of the imbalance of your status and your income. They know to shut the fuck up and know what it is. So women just naturally know this stuff. But when they know that they have more status than you, they got more money than you, and they could talk back to you, they're going to do it. But once you reach a certain level of status, women start to be quiet, and it's fantastic.
What about the guys that get finessed? So, like, for example, I know that it's a lot of women that make the adjustment because they know that they're around a certain type of guy. And then Q Diddy, you can jump in too, but I just got this one last question. What about the guys that wind up getting finessed?
That's the biggest problem. And this happens so much. I mean, me and you have seen it, Anton, probably like in this sphere on, you know, with celebrities every single time, you know, especially with young guys that have a lot of money that like that trick or do some other stuff, especially like on these OnlyFans girls, because like it's a cool thing now to get with these e-thoughts. So
my man said e-thoughts. That's a new term. E-thoughts. The internet joints. Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
That's the biggest problem for guys that have some influence and some status. And this is why it's so important to be like red pill aware, especially when you got some money and status. Like you have to be even more on point because you have way more to lose. I mean, look at what's going on right now with Shannon Sharpe. Like this is wild, right? But he should have kind of known that this chick being an OF girl, because I guarantee you, like a chick like this, you offer a girl 10 million, most girls would have taken that deal. You know what it is? He promised her a dream and she didn't get it. So now she's going to burn down the house with everything because the vitriol.
Listen, that we don't get to give it enough credit. And that's why we here on the Classic Codes. We're not here to tear nobody down, but we are here to assess reality so we could change the shit we don't like effectively. That's what we are here for. And that what he just said speaks to something that is biblically true. The vindictive nature of the woman. All women are not vindictive. Again, there's a difference between this subset of women we talking about and the women that are fit to be brides. But listen to me, the brides are outnumbered. I'm telling you that. These days in particular, the brides are outnumbered. For every one wife walking around here, a woman, and when I say wife, I mean woman fit to be a wife and a woman who would find the wifely duties and the feminine duties of a woman to be appealing and satisfactory to her. That's what I mean by a wife, just so y'all got the definition of what I'm talking about. Those women are outnumbered by the women who love these streets. And when I say love these streets, I just mean a sister that don't mind them. Any woman that's telling you, if I don't end up with the man that I have in my head, I'm cool with not having one at all whatsoever. You love these streets. That means the streets are a comfortable place for you. If you say if you don't get, listen, I'm not living the rest of my life without no feminine energy around me. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting old alone. You stupid. It's going to be one or more women around me. I'm not getting old. Y'all crazy. You're not going to hear, you don't hear men talking about if they don't find a perfect woman or the dream woman or the woman that's in their head, that they just don't want a woman at all. You're not going to hear no man say no shit like that. We want us a woman. We want us a fucking woman at the end of the day. I'm not getting old alone. Y'all crazy. These women and the women that's saying that shit, they lying. They're convinced themselves it's real, or they'll say it to save face because they saying it out loud to whatever audience they got. But we know you lying. You don't want to be 65 in a crib alone. You don't. Your kids that you had by whoever baby daddy is that didn't work out. They grown and went and done doing their own fucking thing. They might not even live in the state no more. Y'all be surprised. Y'all go to these nursing homes to talk to some of these old ass women that don't got nobody. Not the widows, the ones that was single, the ones that didn't need no nigga. And go see how hard they hit the fucking wall. So if we be real about it, we could fix it. That's why I got the Let Them Crash Out series. So women know all that rah-rah feminism shit they talking about, this where it end. Right here, Vivica Fox. Yup. Right here. What's her name? Lisa Ray. Yup. That's where you end up. Right here. Ebony K. Williams. Ebony K. Williams is so bad at securing a man or can't taper her motherfucking expectations down to the point where she had to go to the sperm bank and pay for miscellaneous nigga nut to go get pregnant by. You know the baby still got a dad, right? You talking about, see, we don't need men no more. You still need a man. You went to the fucking nut grocery store to go get inseminated. You know, okay, this one, so this guy's nut was 6 foot. He's 6'4". What about his nut? Okay, he's 6'2", and he had curly hair. Okay, this was a white guy. Okay, I don't want. So you went to the fucking nut market and picked miscellaneous sperm from a man who's spiritually entwined in God knows what, and got a baby by miscellaneous man, John Doe. And then you on the internet going viral talking about, ladies, we got options. Go to the cryo bank to go get some nut from a dude that watched a nasty video in a back room and rub one out into a tube. That's what we resorting to. Single women keep women single. Yeah. And this ain't no crash out. I want it to get fixed. I feel like it's unfortunate too. Yeah. Because see, when I get passionate like this, they say, oh, you mad. Oh, you hate women. No. You're escaping accountability. You're escaping accountability. You running. You talking about my emotional state. Don't worry about me. Worry about if what I'm saying is true. Let's fix that. And if you can't fix it for yourself, if your body count is already 79 people, do you have daughters? Yes, you have a daughter. Okay, let's start with fixing your daughter. Let's make sure your daughter don't get out here and become sexually active at 13. Let's go ahead and focus on that. Your days of good decision making are behind you. So let's focus on the next generation. Let's make sure your niece don't be a bust down. Let's make sure that your god baby that's going to prom has a dress that's actually a dress. Because some of these women going to prom, these young ladies going to prom in swimsuits. That's why, and then when I make the video on TikTok and say the Jezebel spirit running rampant, they jump in the comments trying to jump on my head. Why? Y'all can't see? Y'all can't see? Huh? Fuck going on out here, man. Let's move it to the next part of the let's move it to the question of the day, y'all. Let's move into the question of the day, man, because y'all done got me turned up, man. I think we got what we need from the reaction video. Yes, Lord. Question of the day. Question of the day. How do you know you found true love if she knew you had money? This is a great question. This is unpopular advice that I've been giving out for a long time to people. Because I learned early through experience, through field study. I like to call it field study. I learned early that, women are very superficial, meaning that like what shit look like is more important oftentimes than what it is. Like a woman might fuck with you knowing that your whole image is a facade. But if you can keep up the facade, it still look good for her to be fucking with you, as long as you can keep up with the facade. When you can't keep up with the facade no more and you losing your clout publicly, it no longer look good on her to be with the nigga who found to be a phony. You see what I'm saying? So she out. It's more about what it looked like than what it is for a lot of people these days. You know what I'm saying? Because again, perception is reality for a lot of people these days. On the Classic Codes, we like to discuss actual reality versus like the reality in everybody's head and shit. You see what I'm saying? Y'all can't tell me that reality and the concept of it hasn't been tapered. You can't tell me that, because for a while until the president changed, y'all had people with penises telling you to call them people with vaginas. And it was being made mandatory at jobs. They was doing trainings on it, how to talk to the people that was confused about what they genitals actually say they are. So y'all can't tell me reality ain't been played with and reality ain't tapered and it's not a fluid concept to you niggas these days. Yeah, the delusion is so acceptable that reality is now frowned upon. But here at the Classic Codes, we getting back to the basics. So look, how do you know you found true love if she knew you had money? Talk to me, chat. How you know? I give y'all my answer. You don't. You don't. If you get your bread, if you level up and walk into your greatness as a man prior to securing a bride, whatever bride that you happen to end up with, you could never trust her as much as the woman that you would have been able to trust if you had something that you got it out the mud with. Question of the day: how do you know you found true love if she knew you had money? If this chick pulling up to the first date, if she accepting the date because we met at the gas station and she saw me in my Benz, you see what I'm saying? I never know if she truly loved me or not for real. She could. I ain't saying she don't. Y'all don't confuse me. I'm not saying she don't. But how will I know? I won't. Because there's too many amenities that come with me. If I'm having shit, if I'm pulling up like that, if I'm looking like that, if the watch really hitting like that, if it's that, and she could see that, you know what I'm saying? And it's really lifestyle shit. This ain't even no I'm flexing for you. Nah, like with the way I'm getting to this chop, this how I eat, this what I drive, this how I live, right? And she could see it on you. She knew you had money in the dough. Women are naturally hypergamous. But here's the thing, just because she choosing you because you're a suitor that she may have a once in a lifetime chance of coming across that could actually provide for her at a certain level, at a certain capacity, just because she know that off just seeing what it is, how do you know she really love you? Or is she just there because in her mind, I'm with a creme de la creme ass nigga. Like I got me a top of the top nigga, even if she don't really connect with you on that way. You don't even make her pelvis do that thing. But she attracted to all that come with you though. She fuck with the amenities. See, that's how you end up being the rich nigga with the wife, and she letting the motherfucking housekeeper crack her shit, the pool cleaner crack her shit. You rich, you providing this whole lifestyle for her. You done put her up. She under your covering. She done had your baby. She cook your meals, whatever. You ain't got to be rich. You just live a super comfortable life. You know what I'm saying? And you living comfortable, you doing your thing, and she basking in it. She's a beneficiary of your greatness, as she should be. But when she met you, she knew it was gonna be that. How do you know that she really loved you? Or she just signed up for the stimulus package? How do you know? Y'all got to tell me. I honestly feel like you don't know. That's my verdict. Slam the gavel. Cop, cop. You don't know. Ain't no way to tell. And then the same thing with females that be like, they want a man that's got all these means and resources and that can take care of them to a certain degree. If you want one of them and you want some loyalty associated with it, you better off getting with somebody at your level and working and being with him, sticking by his side, nurturing, curating, cultivating his ambition and making sure he walk into his greatness so you could be a beneficiary of it, because he always going to treat you with a certain degree of respect because you was there from day one and you ain't move around on him. Promise you that. I ain't gonna say the man gonna be perfect. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because certain level of resources bring a certain level of options, and the flesh is weak. The flesh is weak. I'm not gonna say that man gonna be perfect, but what I'm gonna say is you're gonna get a relatively loyal, and he gonna have a certain level of respect for you and a certain level of exaltation for you, especially if you keeping yourself up. Oh yeah, LeBron and Savannah. If you keeping yourself up, if you working out, if you taking care of your skin, if you keeping up with the way you look, you don't get too comfortable, and you understand that the more his celebrity grows, or not even his celebrity, but the more his resource and his capital grows, that his options in this world for everything become more abundant. They become more vast. They become more fruitful. So as a woman, if she got the understanding of that and she been with him out the sandbox or out off the playground or since the graduation, she been with him from day one, she still it's going to be an element of competition that's involved. It's just nature. And it ain't nothing wrong with embracing it, understanding it, and saying, hey, let's play ball. I got a head start anyway. I'm really the one that made sure that all this shit even came to fruition. You see what I'm saying? She got to know she her. You feel me? So honestly, I think with that question today, it's plain and simple. You just don't know. I don't think rich men who come into a situation rich, and that's why I made the artwork what I did. That's why I made the artwork what I did for this live, because I truly believe that that's kind of the situation. This is kind of the situation right here. Prince Hakeem came to America and played like he was a regular Joe Schmo. He played like he was a regular Joe Schmo. Came to America and he just, I'm regular. I'm a janitor. I ain't nobody, shorty. I'm trying to see if I can make you fall in love with me just like this right here, off the strength of who I am. No amenities, no resources, no nothing. I'm trying to see if you will fall in love with me just like this right here. Cause then guess what? When I show you that I'm really having shit, you damn. I was already ready to ride with him to the top. I ain't know we was already living on the mountaintop. This even better. That's like a little cherry on top. But being in love with somebody that you really in love with, I don't really think having some bread beat that. If we being real, I don't really think having some bread beat that. Because y'all can always get some. That's the thing about some bread. You can always get some bread. Would you rather be a person? Would you rather be a person who got somebody that's with you for your amenities, but they with you, they rock with you and all that, but they with you off the strength of your amenities and they got love for you, but they not really in love with you? Or would you rather be a person of moderate means with another person with moderate means, but y'all got some love that only God ordained? I'm talking about that special shit. And then that's y'all starting point. You got bread, she come along, she got love for you, but she really here because she just feel like you the best thing she could get, but she don't got that special vibration for you. Her shit don't percolate around you. You want that? Or would you rather be a man of moderate means who got a solid ass, I'm talking about that old school shit, that love, that deep love, that shit they made them songs about. The songs that made it go dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, that shit right there. Would you rather have that? You know what I mean? It's different strokes for different folks. I don't know what the right or wrong answer is. We just hashing this thing out though. So, I think honestly, if you signing up for life with somebody, somebody who ain't truly all the way locked in with you and they just there for the amenities and the resources, I think, you subject to losing them when shit become a little bit too inconvenient. Because they partially there for the conveniences, right? So I don't, that's a catch-22 of getting rich while you still alone. I think that's the catch-22. But you also got people who came up with their day one and then they wanted to get back out. They wanted to get back outside. That shit wasn't, it wasn't working out. And it ended up costing them a whole lot for trying to ride it out with the one that was with them from the monkey bars, from the playground. So I don't know. This is a tough one, man. Y'all got to let me know what y'all think about this. But check it out. We over about an hour and a half on the live stream total. Make sure y'all check out part 1 if y'all jumped in on this video. This was part 2 of the live stream that ended abruptly earlier. But other than that, man, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. You know what I mean? Turn on the notifications because we're going live damn near every day, maybe multiple times a day. And if you don't do nothing else, man, above all else, make sure you stick to the codes. Yes, Lord.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters, we're left in the cold. Hardened my heart.